The Leslie Marshall Show, the only true democracy in talk radio, of, for, and by you, the people. Live nationwide and streaming live at lesliemarshallshow.com. Call in with your thoughts at 888-6-LESLIE.
Here it is, such a free, and I am so excited on this Tuesday to have not one but two incredible guests joining us in this hour on incredible topics. I've just been gone for a week, took the week off, and especially because I'm on my second cup of coffee, I am definitely rejuvenated, rested, relaxed, and ready for action. Today we have first up in the first half of the hour, Catherine Gray. Catherine is a producer, an author, a speaker, and a podcast host. Her focus is to empower female entrepreneurs, and being a woman who loves women who empower women, being a female and an entrepreneur, this is not just up my alley, but we have so many more women out there opening their own businesses, more women running for and winning elections. It is definitely, I think, the year of the woman, and continues to be, as we're going to have the first female vice president with Kamala Harris, vice president-elect. She enjoys working on socially conscious projects that are impacting the world in a positive way. Now, she and I were just talking off the air. Maybe you guys even saw a little bit of it on the air. Hello to those not just listening on radio and stream and podcast, but also on Periscope, on Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube Live that can see us. After a successful career as the top account executive in the country for a Miami-based cable advertising firm, she became a filmmaker and an entrepreneur with a focus on making a difference. Love that. She is working on launching a new original series for television called She Angels. It covers the exciting journeys of female entrepreneurs who win funding and mentorship at the She Angels Pitch Fest. Now, this is part of creating a global initiative to fund women around the world. In addition to this endeavor, recently she co-founded the creation of the She Angels Foundation, and that furthers the efforts in generating a fund to support female-founded nonprofits that are helping women. To support her women's empowerment vision, she hosts the podcast series Invest in Her. It's a weekly live broadcast on YouTube, iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, and other popular podcast networks. And every week she interviews phenomenal female founders and funders. And the purpose of the show? To discuss ways to accelerate the funding of women and provide resources and inspiration to her listeners. You can also find her book, Live, Love, Thrive, on Amazon. It tells true women's stories of adversity to triumph. I got to get that book. Catherine produced several award-winning films, including the very first documentary film about gay marriage called I Can't Marry You. It's been narrated by Ella DeGeneres' wife, mom, not wife, her mom, Beth. It aired on PBS. I love her too, by the way, Ellen and the mom. Aired on PBS in more than 60 cities throughout the country. And additionally, Catherine and I bonded over just giving TEDx talks. She just did it this past weekend. It's titled Fund Women Save the World. Put that little bookmark down, because when it comes out in a few weeks, it always takes a few weeks from when you put it out there to have the public watch it. The website for her foundation is sheangelsfoundation.org. On Twitter, the handle for her film series is @SheAngelsSeries. Please follow her there. Go to the website, check out her TED Talk, buy her book, I Can't Marry You. More than a pleasure to have with us Catherine Gray. Catherine, thank you for taking the time. Good to have you with us here in the SoCal sunshine today.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, and I love your platform. And by the way, I loved your TED Talk. It was amazing. I can see we're both always for the underdog. So yeah, I hope if anybody hasn't seen yours, they got to look that up. It was amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. And I was just saying, off the air, whatever, you and I post-COVID got to have a drink or coffee, since we're not that far from each other here.
Exactly. I would love that. I know we've been following each other around the country. Both have been in Miami, New York, LA, of course. And I think we were obviously both in New York at 9/11, unfortunately. So that was, I heard you talking about that. It was such a trying time to be in New York. So I was there at the same time you were. So we've just been kind of following each other around the country for sure.
Well, I'm glad to have you here with us today. And like I said, I look forward to that post COVID cocktail or coffee. Today is Giving Tuesday. And we now, I just mentioned, have Vice President elect Kamala Harris on her way to the White House.
Yay.
We still, though, have a 98% gap when you look at funding of women led startups. That is just another spotlight and more of a glaring indicator of not just income inequality, but gender income inequality, gender inequity, and the unmet potential economic growth here in the United States. So, out there are a lot of women, celebrities especially, who are helping to close that gap, that 98% gap in the funding of women entrepreneurs. Speak to us about that because it's a huge issue for voters and not just for women.
Right. Well, and that is what my TED Talk is about. That's why it's called Fund Women Save the World. Is there are so many creations and cures and inventions that rest in the hands of women and they're not getting the funding. So like you mentioned, we get less than 2% of venture capital funding. We get less than 15% of traditional funding like angel investing. It's ridiculous how little funding we get. And yet, like I said, women have all these game-changing ideas that could help save the planet and change the world. We must get behind them. I'm a big believer, too, that women need to get behind women. So super
Yes.
successful women, we have more than 30% of the wealth in the world right now. That's trillions of dollars. We're in a position to get behind women's ventures. Because people say to me, well, don't you want men to invest? I'm like, of course we do, but how's that been working for us? So we do need to get behind each other. But men do need to get behind their daughters and wives and sisters and friends. And that's really what my platform is about. It's about how do we solve this underfunding issue? That's what my She Angels TV series is about, the Invest in Her podcast, everything I'm doing, even the She Angels Foundation, which, you mentioned today is Giving Tuesday. So we want to mention that we have our nonprofit arm. She Angels Foundation is member oriented. So women and men are members. And when they become a member, it's a tax deductible donation that goes to the grants that we give away to female founded nonprofits that are helping women to thrive. I give you a couple of examples. We just gave to Molly Larkey's the People's Pottery Project that teaches women how to, make pottery and make a living out of that are formerly incarcerated women
Right.
that, have a tough time getting back on their feet. She employs them and helps them learn that trade, which is awesome. Another one is Kat Cora's Chefs for Humanity. So we're giving a grant to that. She helps a female chef learn how to start their own restaurant business because only 7% of restaurants are owned by female chefs. So we need to level that playing field as well. So you can look just about any industry, and we are totally underrepresented and definitely in the entrepreneurial world, way underfunded. And I always find it surprising that people are shocked by how little funding women get. Because let's say when we say under 2%, we're saying men get more than 98% of the funding in the venture capital world. How crazy is that? But it's because people tend to invest in themselves. It's someone that they identify with. And so if we had more women in venture capital and in the angel investing world, we would have more women getting funding.
Absolutely. I can hear it
Yeah.
in your voice and just looking at everything you do. This is not just work for you. This is a passion. Why? Why are you so passionate about this particular subject? Why is this your mountain to die on?
I think we all get like a download or a calling, something. They always say, what is it that angers you? That's what your purpose is on the planet. And that angers me that women are so underfunded because it's going to impact the world if they don't get funded. Like I said, they have the cures and creations and inventions that could help save the planet. So let's fund women. Women have amazing ideas. They even tend to outperform their male counterparts when it comes to entrepreneurship. So why not get behind women?
Absolutely.